I like to talk about Christ being both present and promised. Starting with him being promised, typical starting point for that is you go back to where everything went wrong and God's promised to make everything right. So everything went wrong in the garden with Adam and Eve. God said he's going to send the seed of the woman to crush the head of the serpent, and at the same time, then his heel is going to be struck. Now, that promise of a coming seed of the woman, so obviously a human being, who's going to be able to accomplish a divine task, that's the promise that is woven through the whole rest of the Old Testament. That promise of a seed that's going to himself experience the bite of the serpent, but simultaneously to crush the head of the serpent. That's fulfilled ultimately on the cross when Christ dies, and yet in his death, he destroys the power of death. But then I also like to talk about him being present in all sorts of different ways where the Father will send his messenger to speak to people, to give them words of comfort, or sometimes as the glory, or as the name, or as the word of God. All of these are treated as not just kind of something abstract, but concrete. The messenger of the Lord appears in the burning bush to Moses and speaks with him. And I take all of those to be manifestations of Christ before he takes on our human nature.